It's not a perfect metaphor, but I'm talking about an overhaul of the system, putting the power in.
My grandmother's farm needs a major overhaul, or else the Mentryville DA is gonna kick her out on her ass.
Hello and welcome back to TalkWord. This is the show where we roll up our sleeves and really get to know the English words that can trip you up. And today we are tackling a really powerful one, overhaul. You know that feeling, right? You're reading an article or maybe listening to the news and bam, a word just stops you in your tracks. You kind of get what it means from the context, but you're not 100% sure. Well, trust me, you are definitely not alone. And today we are going to master one of those words together. So here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the basic definition of overhauled. Then, we're going to see it out in the wild with some real-world examples. After that, we'll check out a little grammar trick, see how it's different from a similar word, and then, we'll finish up with a challenge for you. Sound good? Let's do it. All right, first things first. What does overhaul actually mean? We're going to build this from the ground up, starting with the straight-up dictionary definition. Okay, now what's really important to notice here is the detail. An overhaul isn't just about fixing a problem. It's really a two-step process. First, you do the super detailed examination of the whole thing, and then you make big repairs or changes to get it back into great shape. It's all about being thorough. So, here's the key takeaway. If you need a simple way to remember it, just think of overhaul as a complete transformation. We're not talking about a little patch-up job here. We're talking about redoing the whole thing, top to bottom. Okay, definitions are one thing. But seeing how a word actually gets used in real life, that's when it really starts to stick. So let's jump into our next section and see how this whole total transformation idea works in a few different situations. This is the classic example, right? The one you'll hear all the time. Just picture a car engine that's old, tired, not running right. The mechanics don't just, change the oil. No way. They literally take the entire engine apart, inspect every single piece, replace all the worn-out parts, clean everything, and then put it all back together. That is an engine overhaul.
And this is a perfect example of how the word overhaul isn't just for machines. Here, we're talking about a massive, complex system. An overhaul wouldn't just be adding one new bus to the route, it would mean completely rethinking all the routes, changing the timetables, maybe bringing in a new ticketing system, and upgrading all the stations. It's a total redesign of the whole shebang.
See, this word is so versatile. You can even use it to talk about yourself. If your study habits need an overhaul, you're not just going to decide to study for 1 extra hour. You're going to change everything. Where you study, how you take notes, when you review material, your whole approach. It's a complete shift. All right, let's talk grammar for just a second. This is super important. One of the reasons overhaul can feel a little tricky is because it can play two different roles in a sentence. It can be a thing or it can be an action. Let's look at this side by side. On the left, an overhaul is the thing that's needed. It's a noun. You ask the question, the system needs what? It needs an overhaul. But on the right, to overhaul is the action we're going to take. It's a verb. What do we need to do? We need to overhaul the system. See? Same core meaning, just used in a different grammatical slot. Okay, now for a really useful distinction. You might hear people use the word fix and overhaul kind of interchangeably, but they mean very different things. Getting this right will make your English sound so much more precise. This comparison makes it crystal clear. A fix is small. It's targeted. Your tire is flat, you fix it. Problem solved. But an overhaul is deep, it's comprehensive. If the car's engine, brakes, and transmission are all failing, you don't just fix one thing. The whole car needs an overhaul. So think of it this way. A fix is like a Band-Aid, but an overhaul is like major surgery. So, we've broken down the definition, we've seen it in action, we've sorted out the grammar. Now, guess what? It's your turn. Because the absolute best way to make a new word stick is to actually use it. So, really think about it for a second. What in your world needs an overhaul? Is it your messy closet, your personal budget, the way your company manages projects, maybe even your morning routine? Think of something in your life, big or small, that could use a complete, total transformation. That's something that needs an overhaul.
So let's lock this in one last time. Remember, an overhaul is not a small tweak. It's not a quick fix. It is a deep, comprehensive change to a whole system, whether that system is a machine, a city's transport, or even just your personal study habits.
Hey, if you had fun breaking this word down with me, why not try creating your own? You should check out the TalkWord mobile app. you can actually team up with two friendly hosts and create your very own English word explainer, just like this one. It's a seriously fun way to master new vocabulary. And that is all we have time for today. Thanks so much for joining me. I can't wait to explore another word with you next time, right here on TalkWord.
He was pushing for total overhaul, but they wouldn't listen.
I went to a rejuvenation clinic and got a whole natural overhaul.
Now, this has got to be a complete overhaul, kids, from top to bottom.